Good evening, Zimbabwe. You are listening to Studio 7 from the Voice of America on Friday, September 7th, 2018. And this is Live Talk. I am Kip Stobe.
And I'm Jonga Kandemiri.
Tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about Zimbabwe's new cabinet.
To join our discussion, phone us directly at 001-202-619-2077 and we'll call you back.
Live Talk goes out to Zimbabwe on our 909 meter wave frequency and on the 4930-6080 and 15460 kilohertz shortwave, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m.
On the internet, you can find us at www.voazimbabwe.com, at www.voashona.com, and at www.voindewele.com.
If you have just joined us tonight on Studio 7 Live Talk, we are talking about Zimbabwe's new cabinet as President Emmerson Mnangagwa attempts to revive the country's ailing economy.
President Mnangagwa is appointed a 20-member cabinet, which includes Benga Mthuli Ncube, President of the African Development Bank, as Finance Minister, and retired Olympics gold medalist Kirsty Coventry to the sports portfolio.
Mnangagwa dumped three Zanu-PF strongmen, former Home Affairs Minister Opet Mpofu, former Health Minister David Paraninyatwa, and former Finance Minister Patrick Chinamasa, and opted for at least three newcomers, Mangaliso Ndlovu, Industry and Commerce, Obata Moyo Health, and Sekesai Zenza Public Service.
For the first time in the history of Zimbabwe, the Minister of Defense has been assigned to a woman, Opa Muchinguri Kashiri, who is the chairperson of the ruling Zanu-PF party. She is part of the executive arm of the government and a member of Zanu-PF's Women's League.
Other ministers are Julai Moyo, Local Government, Spusiso Moyo, Foreign Affairs, Amon Murira, Higher Education, Kane Kinyiliche Matema, Home Affairs, Paul Mavima, Primary and Secondary Education, and Parents Shiri, Agriculture and Environment.
And their colleagues are Winston Chitando, Mines, Joram Gumbo, Energy and Power Development, Joel Bigi Matiza, Transport and Infrastructure, Monica Muchangwa, Information and Media, Kazembe, Information and Courier Services, Priska Mfumira, Tourism, and Stambi Sonyoni, Women's Affairs. The ministers will be sworn in on Monday.
Please note that we are live streaming this show on VOA Studio 7, VOA Ndebele, and VOA Shona Facebook pages. Yibakambe zulukanda balingalchona njani lapelkona kunjani mfowethu.
Ngiyaphila ndoda.
Yeah, so icabinet sikhona namhlanje.
Yes, and in absentia I was nominated for the Minister of Diaspora.
And what?
Yes.
Because you have to fly over.
Fortunately, I turned down the offer.
Yeah, that was a sibili chance ukuthi kuhambe njani kolakale ke Harare. So esikubonile ukuthi ke umnumzana Opet Mpofu odabuka eMandebeleni bangani bamfake phansi bangani bathe hayi mana ndoda. Kuzobuya ke lo mnumzana Patrick Chinamasa la bathe akume kancane. Kuzobuya ke lo mnumzana udokotela David Paraninyatwa akulamhla laba baba kuhulumende. So ke ufake ke abantu angani batsha sebabona sibili ikulo Obata Moyo. Kuzobuya ke uMangaliso Ndlovu obambe ke khona ku Industry and Commerce. Kuzobuya ke lo Sekesai Zenza khona ngale ke public service. Obata Moyo u health nxa ukuthi gula nje nguyabe ukukhangela ukuthi kume njani. So kuzobuya ke nxa sesikhangela kulo baba uMthuli Ncube ubambe ke iportfolio yena le singathi kumbe sikufake sithi ibhaskiti yelizwe yokuthi phela imali kumele igcinwe njani njalo isetshenziswe njani. So ke ugatsha lukahulumende lolu luqhatheke kakhulu nxa sesikhangela ke abantu njengomthuli Ncube. Umthuli ke siyakhumbula ukuthi wayekubhanga leBarbican. Wasesuka ke eZimbabwe ngesibhangiphangi ngesikhathi sokuthiwa ke ubethatha imali ehambisa kwamanye amazwe. So singazi ukuthi udaba lwakhe lwagcina njani Jonga kungani kunjalo mfowethu.
Ndizvozvo ama vadiwa vateereri nevatariri, nhasi tiri kukurukura nezvevanhu vadomwa nemutungamiri wenyika vaEmmerson Mnangagwa kuti vange vari makurukota ehurumende. Taona vachiumba kana kuti vachitaura mazita evanhu vanokwana kuita 20 kuti vange vari makurukota vachazotoreswa mhiko kana kuti vanotarisirwa kutoreswa mhiko nemusi wemuvhuro. Asi pane vapinda ivava pane vatsva vakaita saprofesa Mutuli Ncube vanzi ndo vanenge vakabata homwe yenyika kana kuti finance minister. Chigaro chakabatiwa nawaPatrick Chinamasa avo vazokandwa parutivi mushure mekunge vakundikanawo zvakare musarudzo dzekutsvaga vamiriri vedare reparamende. Tinoonawo zvakare kuti kune vapinda vatsva vaenda kuMinistry of Health kana kuti kubazi rezveutano, kwanga kuina vaDavid Parenyatwa kwava naDr Obadiah Moyo ndo vava gurukota idzva ikoko. Kwotiwo vamwe vamiswa mabasa vasupamandowanzira vanga vari kuICT uko vasendekwa parutivi pamwe chete nani mumwe navaObert Mpofu vanga vari gurukota rezvemukati menyika kana kuti Home Affairs Minister. Asi vazhinji vari kutiwo zvinenge zviri nani pane vadomwa ivava kana kuti cabinet yaziviswa navaMunangagwa, nokuti vamwe vari kutarisawo kuti uwandu ine vanhu 20 vachiti huri nani. Asi vamwe vari kutarisawo zvakare pauwandu hwemadzimai. Gibbs, kune madzimai anokwana kuita 6 out of 20, 14 vanhurume. Saka vamwe vari kuti ipapo panenge dai papanzi igadziridzweyo nokuti madzimai nevanhurume vanhu vangoenzana, mikana inofanira yakaenzana. Asi yezvino tinoona kuti cabinet ine vanhu 6 madzimai.
Siyabona njalo kuketwe abantu bezigaba. Kodwa Harare kusamisi ukuthi badinge uprovincial affairs minister.
Yes.
So indawo zonke kunye badingile. Wasidinga futhi lama deputy ministers ambalwa. So uthe dinga kompana nxa wakhangele ngabantu sibili abamsekela kakhulu esanda ukuxoxwa uhulumende aze phenduke futhi njalo sokukhitshwa umgaba esikhundleni. So ke siyabona ukuthi lokho kuyi-G40 sibile ngazani khona kompana ozihambisa yakwazi ukuthi babeme ngaphi njalo babethukana lo nkosikazi Grace Mgabe into ezinjalo. So ke nxa usukhangele sibili ngwanithethe ke abafana bakhe abathize wazuza ama-technocrats anjengo-Obadiah Umoyo, babuya futhi bathatha ubaba umama njengoKirsty Coventry bamfaka khonapho. Singaziswimming yeZimbabwe engxenye iyavuma
irigandi vanangotaura unirimi rweshona kuti mumwe apinda ari kutambirwa nevanhu zvakanyanya. Munhu anonzi Kirsty Coventry anozivikana munyaya dzemitambo, munhu aituwina zvakanyanya Gibbs achiuya nemamedhuru gold medals for Zimbabwe. Kirsty Coventry ndiye anenge ari gurukota revechidiki nemitambo. Zvinhu zviri kutambirwa nevakawanda kuti zvakanaka kuti muise munhu anenge ane ruzivo nebazi ramuri kumupa, kwete kuti moti Jonga Kandemiri waminister weyouth iniinda ane 60 years kudai.
So kungana kuti youth usually border case line vajalo kufaka njalo kuti wenjalo, kodwa lapha ngani swimming yinking
asi zvinhu zvakanaka izvo
kakhulu. So if you've just joined us tonight on Studio 7 Live Talk, we are talking about the new cabinet in Zimbabwe amid reports that Mr. Mnangagwa is trying to revive the country's economy. So what is very clear is that he has actually dumped some of the veteran ministers. That includes Obed Mpofu, who was holding the Home Affairs portfolio, Mr. Patrick Chinamasa, who was the finance minister, and it appears as if Chonga he really is pointing towards reviving the economy.
That's
if
true.
You pull a technocrat like Mutuli Ncube, maybe you are trying to tell people that Zimbabwe is open for business. What he's always saying. But what remains is what is going to happen.
And will these people be given free room to maneuver?
That's right.
That's the problem. Regarding ngotaura zvakare vadomwa finance and economic development tina Professor Mutuli Ncube kuti kudefense kudzivirirwa kwenyika hanzi defense and war veterans kuna amai opamuchinguri kashiri, local government kutongwa kwematunhuko kuna vaJuly Moyo, foreign affairs and international trade kuchidzana nedzimwe nyika kuna vaSibusiso Moyo, then public service vashandi vehurumende labor and social welfare kuna honorable Sekesai Nzenza, industry and commerce honorable Mangaliso Ndlovu, kuti home affairs kundezve mukati menyika izvo home affairs and cultural heritage honorable Kain Matema, then higher and tertiary education science and technology development honorable Professor Amon Murwira, the primary and secondary education honorable Professor Paul Mavima, then lands, agriculture, water, culture and rural settlement honorable Air Chief Marshal Perens Shiri, mines and mining development honorable Winston Chitando Kumigodi, energy and power development kuna vajoram gumbo taivaziva vari kunyaya vari kurukota rezvekutakura kwezvinhu kutransport ndo vakumhando dzemoto kuti transport and infrastructural development kuna homeboy wangu uko honorable Joel Big Matiza murehwa yapinda wapo. Kouya information publicity and broadcasting services honorable Monica Mutsvangwa ndo vanga vari gurukota redunhu reManicaland. Kozoti ICT and Courier services honorable Kazembe. Environment, tourism and hospitality industry honorable Priska Mupfumira ndo vakamhenga vari kune kubazi rezvevashandi vakune zvekushanyirwa kwenyika nezvichengetwa. Kuti youth, sport, arts and recreation kuna Kirsti Coventry. Health and child care Dr. Obadiah Moyo. Justice, legal and parliamentary affairs honorable Ziyambi varamba vari pachigaro chavanga vainacho. Women's affairs, community, small and enterprises development honorable Stembiso Nyoni. Kuti deputy minister tinofana kuvazivisawo kuvanhu.
Yes, bana ke siqale sifake video. Yes. Le video eka Misha Expanda khuluma khona.
Washitaura ndizvo.
Yeah, so I think we've got a video of the person who presented these ministers on behalf of the president.
His Excellency the President has some announcement to make. My mouthpiece.
His Excellency the President, Comrade Idi Mnangagwa, has, in terms of Section 104 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe, Amendment number 20 of 2013, appointed the following as Cabinet Ministers. Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Professor Mthuli Ncube.
We want to grow, modernize, mechanize our economy. I believe that in the next 5 years, we should uplift quite a number of our people who are in the marginalized category, uplift them into middle class.
So there is the president talking about the middle class. The middle class has actually been almost decimated in Zimbabwe. So we have seen it happening. So we are lucky that we've got Mr. Rejoice Ngwenya, who is an independent political and economic commentator. He's on the line right now from Harare. Mr. Rejoice Ngwenya, good evening and welcome to the program.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you. So far so good. What's your take on this new cabinet?
Well, look, I mean, already in my notes, I call it the stock cabinet. And of course, it's an acronym that means silence the opposition cabinet. I mean, you can call it silence or stop or whatever. But this is a cabinet that has been articulately put together to try and balance both the demands of growth and that of political patronage. And I think Mr. Mnangagwa, when he was on his way to China on that long trip in the aeroplane, he must have thought seriously about trying to listen to what people have been saying. But remember that even if you give a good pilot a bad aeroplane or a good person a bucket that leaks, it takes a bit of innovation to get things right.
There, I think you need to elaborate what exactly you're saying.
You see, Zimbabwe is a very difficult country to rebuild. So, like you have observed, that if you have a good minister who is operating in a structure and a system that has been corrupted for 37 years, the intentions are very noble on the part of the president, but the culture of bad governance and corruption, like what Pedro said, how easy is it for Mthuli Ncube to take the country out of this mentality of of overspending, the mentality of balancing political interests through state-sponsored expenditure. So you will need to be very courageous in order to be able to rein in on the huge appetite of government. See, the spending is in the Zanu-PF DNA. So you will need to find a panacea to immunize our system from a tendency towards spending money that we don't have.
Amfuna ukuthi kuphambanise bemcela ukuthi afake ngesindebele just 1 minute. Kufake ngesindebele konoko ke kodwa kwethulela uZulu kwezethi ingagcini ngifaka wamazwi.
Ya uyazwakala phela benisithi mina uhulumende lo omutsha lo kuyafana lo kunikeza umuntu olobuntu igabha elivuzayo kuye ukuthi achasise abone adinge indlela zokuvala igabha lakhona ngoba ade bekhona laba bethwele igabha elivuzayo besithi hayi sizagcwalisa amanzi besithi yakhona bezehluleka. Kuqakathekile ukuthi sibe kwazi ukuthi uyenze kahle ngoba bezama ukuthi alungisise uhulumende ungathothozekiye kulabaza abazamthothoza bakhona kodwa bezama ukuthi alungisise uhulumende ongazama ukuthi alungisise umnotho kodwa kuzakwazima ngoba umnotho lo ubhilizeke kweminyaka eminingi ngoba iZanu-PF bavame khona ukusebenzisa izimali abangelazo izikweletu zizinengi senginike nje umlinganiso wokuthi isingathi usithini ubaba uMthulu Ncube uzaba lo msebenzi omkhulu ukuthi axhumise abantu abavele bethanda ukuqeda ukusebenzisa izimali abangelazo.
Jonga.
Thank you so much Vangwenya. Tinonzwa kuti tavana Dr. Nkululeko Siwanda vanove mutauriri wemutungamiri weMDC Alliance Vanelson Chamisa. Dr. Siwanda tinogamuchirai pachirongwa.
Tinotenda makariko.
Aiwa tiri wapenyu. Toda kunzwawo kuti sebato reMDC Alliance kana semubatanzwa weMDC Alliance matambirawo sei vadomwa kuve makurukota navamunangagwa.
Chakakosha ndechekuti vanhu vatarise kwete kuti vadoma ndavanani, munotarisa adoma wacho ndo matarisiro anoitwa hurumende uye munotarisa kuti izvozvo zvaitwa pamutemo here. Hapana hurumende inogobudirira nokuti pana minista anonzi Mtuli Ncube arimo imomo. Hurumende inobudirira nenyaya yekuti ina president anoziva basa anopa maministers iwayo basa rinoita kuti nyika iendere mberi. Uyezve nyaya yecabinet ndeyekuti cabinet inoshanda as a cabinet, haishandi nemaministers ari ma-individuals. Saka capacity yegovernment inofanirwa kunga iri capacity inobva kucabinet yese kwete kubva kumunhu one. Saka zvokutanga kutarisa mazita kuti ane zita rakadai abva nekupiwa abva nekupari one hazvibatsire zviya senge chitamusango wazataurwa nevamwe ndakatera vachitaura kuti aiwaka hamungati hurumende ine culture yekuba isingagone basa ine experience yekuparadza economy for 38 years. Inozoti nhasi nokuti aita munhu mumwe chete vanhu vaviri kana vanhu vatatu kana vanhu 20 yozotanga kuchigona kuita basa izvazvi zvakaitika hazvisati zvamboitika pasi pano. Chimwe chatinofanirwa kutarisa tinofanirwa kutarisa nyaya iyi tichibva mumaprograms akaiswa napresident Chamisa pavanga vachikampeni vakataura kuti hurumende inenge iri effective, very smart, inofanirwa kunga ine maministers 15. Iwayo ndo nyika yedu ine vanhu vashoma zvikuru sakuma between 12 to 15 million. Haidi vanhu vakawanda. Tarisa izvi zvaitwa paiswa maminista anosvika iwo total chayo inosvika kuma 43 mukatarisa nemadeputy minister. Imotikari dzinosvika kuma 60 toda kutengwa kuti hurumende iendere mberi. Mapedza kudaro munozoona kuti balance yavo nemanhambikiri pavanhukadzi nevanhurume haisi pamutemo, vachiri kungoita zvinhu zvisiri pamutemo. Izvozvo ndo zvinoratidza kuti hurumende inoziva haizivi zvavari kuita. Vadoma vacho havasi kuziva zvavari kuita.
Gibbs.
Yes, siyamuzwa Sibili nxa kumbe ungatshela abantu ukuthi besitheni phela umnumzana ngesishona lapho ukuthi enxa abanye abamzwanga.
Yes, Dr. Siwanda, or he was saying that, well, let's not look at individuals.
Yes.
Those individuals that were nominated, let's not look at individuals.
Because
for
they
a
can't
cabinet,
change a thing.
yes,
Yeah.
for a cabinet, it has to be a collective effort, and the government included. And also,
And the
let's
leader.
look at who nominated who. Is the president performing? Is his government performing for the ministers to be effective?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Then we've got people that are sending messages, and one of them is Robert Ndlovu, who says, kuhle lokhu ubona uKesti Coventry lo Mthuli Ncube, kodwa unkosikazi Stemson Nyomni lo mnumzana Joram kumbo badingani kanti. Then comes Nompumelelo Ngwenya with a message, and she says, as for Mthuli Ncube ngitshaya izandla. Kagisa Mtha says, ingathi kuyathembisa kancane, mina ngijabulele ungena kwaMthuli Ncube lo Kesti Coventry. Maybe cricket izavuka ngoba isiphelile nya. Kuzobuyeke uRalph Sibanda uthi defense seems captured by war veterans, so to see Mchinguri taking the defense portfolio is no big surprise. Okuseleyo ku-defense kubona if Mchinguri remains independent of Mr. Constantino Chiwenga, who is the vice president. Then Ralph Sibanda again says, no ministry is looking for the youth affairs. What is going on? There could be some generation gap here. So tell us what is going on. So as far as we see is that Kesti Coventry is in charge of the youth portfolio, right?
Yes.
So this guy is saying, seems there's a problem there. Maybe he's talking about youth projects, all those kind of things, not swimming.
But well,
and that kind of stuff.
She works with permanent secretary and other executive or directors in the ministry. So maybe Dr. Sibanda, there are some people who are saying the presence of Kesti Coventry in the government, especially holding the youth portfolio, could be suspect there because they are saying a lot of things there. So can you weigh in there?
Look, the MDC, led by President Nelson Chamisa, is a professional organization that works in terms of well-established principles and knows what it is doing. Look, one of the first few things, even before you get to Kesti Coventry, and Kesti Coventry, if she has gravitas, if anybody has gravitas, must refuse working in a cooked-up government that is partly illegal. The cabinet, as announced today, is outside the Constitution. Look, the Constitution does not provide for the appointment of provincial ministers or governors. They are not supposed to be there because we have devolved our government. We're supposed to devolve in line with the Constitution. President Nangwa talks about devolution, but seems not to understand what devolution is when it comes to appointing a cabinet. What is done is not according to the law and will make this government dysfunctional from day one. And the President Nangwa is consistent in his inability to read the law, to read the Constitution. And one wonders, why does he need a provincial minister or a provincial governor when you have your provincial councils that must have the power to run their local areas or their devolved areas as is required by the Constitution? So anybody who's really overexcited about specific names must realize that those specific names could only earn any gravitas if they, in the first instance, disagreed to work in a legal structure that has been created by President Mnangagwa only to make sure that he has enough spaces to fill in most of his friends in government and give them expensive vehicles and an expensive lifestyle. It is still a patronage system if you see somebody appointing a cabinet that is more than 15 ministers for a country of less than 15 million people. It's just not right. It just doesn't work. It shows you that that Mnangagwa has no intention to turn this country around. The country is suffering right now. Our economy is crumbling, and all he can do is add some more public spending by appointing unnecessary ministers that are not even wanted by the Constitution.
Thank you so much, Dr. Smara. Please do stay on the line. We still have Mr. Rejoice Ngwenya on the phone, and we are joined by Mr. Joseph Chuma, who is a political analyst and Zanu-PF member. Mr. Chuma, welcome to our program.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Thank you so much and welcome. You just heard from our last speaker, Dr. Nkululeko Swanda, and I think you know what people have been saying about this nomination of cabinet ministers. What's your take on that?
Well, the first thing that we really need to digress on here is that people must learn to get away from this syndrome of always criticizing and try and be a bit positive at times. The president has done his best to come up with a formidable cabinet, which has a lot of new faces in it. And all now that we need to do, if we are really serious about getting our economy back on the track, and if we are really serious about feeling for our people as politicians, as leaders, whether opposition or ruling, then this is the time to now actually rally behind these men and women that have been given the task to lead the ministries in their different capacities, and give them maximum support to Zimbabweans, so that we can now rail our whole economy into some recovery path. But if we are going to have negative energy all the time, really, what are we speaking of? What kind of leadership are we? If we are people-oriented leaders, then this is the time to say, let's close ranks and give these people that have been given the mandate to run these ministries 100% support, or even more than 100% if we can. Then that way, we are going to be better people, and the history will judge us so, rather than always complaining, always demonizing, always having negative energy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chuma. Please do stay on the line. Maybe we can you can check with Mr. Ngwenya.
Baba Ngwenya uyezwa lapho uChuma uyakhuluma sibili uthi abantu laba bakabanika ithuba phela ukuthi bezame lapha lalapha, ungathini khona?
Yeah, liqiniswa kodwa phela okutshiwo ngumkhululeko ukuthi ungazikhangelisise obuningi kahulumende wethu. Isikhalazo esikhona ukuthi madoda, uhulumende wethu ubhiliza izimali eziningi ezingekho ku-production. Nxa uzakuba lama-minister angu-20, lama-deputy minister, lama-provincial ministers, kakudingi lokhu ngavele uhulumende wethu uvele uyasinda. Kufanele kube uhulumende okwanisa ukuthi angabi ngumuthwalo. So mina bona ngathi ubaba uChuma liqinisa ukuthi awusoze uhlale lokhu khalakhala. Siyazi ukuthi kuyachaya kwamahlombe, omncube, oCascaventry, labo obuThinguri, ngabantu esibakhangelela ukuthi banganceda ukuthi balungisise umnotho wethu. Kodwa kufanele ukwazakale phela ukuthi nxa umuntu ekhalakhala akuthi ukuthi akulanto ayibonayo enhle. Kuyayikhona kodwa nje isikhalazo ukuthi kasibe kwazi ukuthi kanti inkinga elelizwe lethu kuyini, izikweletu zakhona ziningi kakhulu, abantu baningi, abantu bayakhalakhala. Ngaye kudinge ukuthi abantu babe balutshwane, kwenzela ukuthi abakhona babe labo bengabantu abadilivayo, ufake nje abantu abakwazi umsebenzi ngaphandle ukuthi engqokoshile abantu abangaso bantu be-agriculture. Omama abalutshwane kade zakwanisa afaka omama ku-minister of health, afaka umama ku-education, afaka umama kufanele. Kodwa asingeke ukhalakhala ngoba umsebenzi we-opposition madoda yikukhalakhala. Nxa i-opposition ngabe sivumelana lokho okwenza uhulumende khona ukuthi asadinga ukuthi le opposition.
Yes, siyawuzwa kakhulu ke ngizothola silokhola.
Thank you. Yes, we have a caller. Tinava Zakaria Mbayiwa, Makadiwa Mbayiwa.
Tiripo Makadiwa.
Takasimba muri kufona muri kupi?
Ndiri kupolokwani South Africa.
South Africa tipewo pfungwa dzenyu vaMbayiwa.
Chekutanga ndoda kukorokotedza mutungamiri wenyika nebasa guru raaita kuratidza kuchinja kwezvinhu zviri kuda kunzi zviitwe muZimbabwe. Tine vanoopoza, no matter how good chinhu kuti chaitwa chakanaka sei, pane vanomira kuopoza chete. Iyi nguva yatava haisisiri nguva yekuti tinongoopoza. Ngatiitei inonzi positive criticism. No matter uri webato ripi, iye zvino yanguva yekuti misoro iswe pamwe chete. Pochionekwa kuti nyika yochidzoka kubva kumawere kwayanga iri sei. Vadomwa napresident kuti vange vari muzvigaro zvavari kuzotungamirira, ndinofunga vanhu vadomwa necapability yavo. Saka ngatimirei tione kuti ivava vadomwa chii chavachatiitira kuti zimbabwe ive inobudirira, nekuti iyo ino nguva yatiri inguva isiri yekungosora chete. Ndinoda kutaura ndichiti zvakare kune veMDC kune vari kushuwa kuti dai chamisa atungamirire. Zvakatoitwa zvakaitwa, ngavachitombotarisira kuti nyika ingofamba ichibva pairi zvino ichienda mberi, tisadzokere kumashure. Achisimbaradza pati yealliance kuti vamirirewo maelections anotevera, vogozoona kuti chii chavangabudewo nacho ipapo. Inguva yekuti vave machuwa politically, vagonawo kuzoti panguva yavanenge vapinda kutungamirira voziya kuti vari kubva papi vachienda kupi. VaMnangagwa vari kugadzira hwaro hwakanaka hwokuti whoever achazonzi atonge agone kuve anosumudza nyika achienda nayo mberi kubva pavanenge vazofirawo. Ndinogona kutaura ndichidaro for the time being.
Thank you so much. Mbayiwa morara zvakanaka. Gives Mr. Zakaria Mbayiwa, our caller from Polokwane, South Africa. He started by congratulating President Mnangagwa, and he says people should bring in a positive criticism, not just to criticize for the sake of criticizing, because he says it's time to rebuild the country. And he thinks those elected were chosen because of their capabilities. And also he urged MDC alliance members to strengthen their party and prepare for next elections instead of just criticizing and not rebuilding. And he thinks that President Mnangagwa is on the right path.
Now I've got some messages coming in. Mike Matia Ndlovu says, "Sesithembele kuNkulunkulu kuphela. Then uThabani Ngwenya uthi kwaseZimbabwe uyathula ulalele kuphela ubheke ukuthi kuya ngaphi. Ntomzoto Mahlangu uthi ke akula lutho oluzaphuma kumbe ulutho oluzalunga. Kuzobuya uSteven Kumbutsi Malaba, Malaba kunjani lapho khona ngapho. Uthi is still Zanu-PF. Nothing can change. We are still going backwards." Then Ralph Spanda uthi youth is the biggest loser here. Bazama ngayonke indlela ukuthulisa youth empowerment. Youth empowerment fueled G40 eyo yaba scapegoat kumbe unifying factor yalabo abasalayo ku Zanu-PF. Then uThabani Ngwenya uyaphinda njalo uthi uhulumende wamasotsha vele kayindawo uyakudilika kuphela. Then Eslizi Hammond uthi akula lutho oluzaphuma mfowethu lapho umdali nguye okwaziyo akuthembisi ngitsho kancane. Kazembe labo ziyambi badingani khonapho njalo ngamabizo abo yini aqiniso. uObed Mpofu ke kwenze njani? So she's asking here about Kazembe and Ziyambi. She's saying, are these true names? I guess these are their actual names.
Yes.
So then about Obed Mpofu, kukhanya ngazani lapha abasamkhethanga khona manje ukuthi angene. Kuzobuya ke uPamela Kumalo uthi Zanu-PF akula nix yehluleka kudala. Then uDevson Sibanda uthi kodwa bangaki abasekeli bakamongameli sakubalela sikutshele baba. Then Kokeli Prince Nkomo says the president has managed to balance politics and elections. So he has chosen a cabinet that is almost a type of cabinet that could be wanted by some people. Do you have any messages?
I have a message from Dr. Muzi Ngube. He's the MDCT USA Provincial Organizing Secretary. That's the MDCT led by Dr. Thokozani Kupe. He says he would like to congratulate President Mnangagwa for listening to the people of Zimbabwe and putting together a well-mixed cabinet of technocrats that have excellent decorated past experiences in their fields. Let's all move together and support the president in rebuilding our Zimbabwe together. Now, let's work on accepting diaspora voters too. Mr. President, we are also Zimbabweans. That's Dr. Muzi Ngube. Then I think I'll go to Facebook later, but you can bring in some.
So I'm told to kule khola umbanjwa. Baba mbanjwa kunjani?
Sikhona mbanjwa ndani.
Ngiyaphila mbanjwa. Kuzwakala uqanda kakhulu mbanjwa.
Udube.
Kunjani mbanjwa?
Ngiyaphila Dube baba.
Akutsho sizwe.
Hey, kalala ndahla manje sengile inyanga ezine zonke alimphenduli vele.
Hayi kutsho ukuthi iWhatsApp yethu yekade dilikile siyaxolisa baba.
Yebo baba.
Ithi WhatsApp isichaya silahla phansi.
Hayi ngiyabonga baba. Hayi siyayizwa ikhabhinethi entsha lebekweyo. Kodwa yazi ngizwa ngilombuzo nje esikhathi esiningi ukuthi uHome Affairs kungani balele esindebeleni khonapho kodwa angaze ngibone bevele besebenza utshengisela ukuthi lakathi sidlanxa ukuthi kuthiwa ikhabhinethi ibekiwe yini lo baba othi khona abanye abantu bagcwele ukusola kuphela liyabe sisola sikhangela ukuthi vele into ezingasebenzi ungakhangela ukuthi emandebeleni kade kwasuka unkomo ngoba ngoHome Affairs kwalandela uDabe ngoba ngoHome Affairs namhla kufaka umathema kodwa izithombe lezo ngoba uDabe ngwazi waphuma engasebenze lo mathema ke asiboni ukuthi uzasebenza umyulutho
usukhohlwa kophethe
vele inkalakatha ukuthi
qhubeka baba
inkalakatha ukuthi la abantu bangaze babekwe kodwa okuphakathi kwembiza nxa kuvele kungalunganga akulanto bazayenza abanye bakhala ngokuthi omama bazele abaningi umama ebabathi uJoyce uhlale lapha ngu-vice president wenzani okwabomama okungcono embizeni kulapho kungalunganga khona imbiza ye-Zanu-PF vele yiyo engalunganga ukuthi bakaze babeke bathini nakamboni kulento zaguquka kulelelizwe akula lutho kuyahlala nje kunjalo isikhala kokuphela bafuna ukuthi abanye bathi kungakhalwa kukhangelwana okunye okutsha ngomnankakho umnankakho usuke konale evele ngumbulale ngudeputy kaMgabe kwaze kwafika namhlanje manje uzaguqula kuyini konje bathi eMandebeleni ubuhlungu kade sinqazizwa uthiwa kulo deputy ongumeya esishonini kubuhlungu kakhulu phakathi kwethu kakhulu kuyisilonda esingasoze siphele kithi ngoba sicabanga ikuground sicabanga okuningi umuntu kufuze ayikhokhela ngakibo akune ukhokhela komalume akhe kumbe lapha athi ngazaleka khona kodwa engasiwa khonapho indabe engayikhona le masingombozo le umeya lo ayikhona abe ayikhokhela phakathi kwethu ukhokhela ni phakathi kwethu engudeputy mayor umeya wethu ngafa kuthi singuyesithatha ngoba umuntu nxa engudeputy lo useduze kwakwampa shinqa kungafana mhlawumbe lokuzeni lokuthi hamba utende umthelo uyozavuka ethethe imeya yethu yikho singakufuniyo yikho kulwa ngabantu besindebeleni yikho sicela ukuthi into lezi zilungiswe abantu besindebeleni asivukenini nangikhuthaza nje abantu besindebeleni asivukenini siyalenini into lezi sibufike kanye nxa ukuthi basibulala sifike kanye sithi lokho asikufuni kathi sayesaba nikathi sabulwa yikho round ngiyabonga baba
sibonga kakhulu Mbanjwa ungathina lokusasa mnumzana. So yeah, according to Mr. Mbanjwa, he says what is important is not the firewood that we have. What's important is the pot, what the pot is all about. If there's bad stuff in the pot, you can't eat. So he says the bad pot here is Zanu-PF itself. You may get all the technocrats, you may get everybody, align anyone, but you will never get a good result because of Zanu-PF. So he goes further to say he's surprised why the Home Affairs portfolio is always being given to a person from Matabeleland. He mentioned names. I think maybe he forgot Mr. Opet Mpofu and the late Innocent Kala. So there was those
and also
portfolios.
That Muffin Mahachi was not from Matabeleland, he was from Manicaland.
That's right. So, but at the end of the day, he says nothing will come out straight here because Zanu-PF is not good at all. So maybe Chuma can respond to some of those.
Yes, Mr. Chuma, maybe you can give us your thought on that.
Oh, well, I heard the gentleman who just last spoke. I must say he was really just a frustrated voice with the lack of proper reasoning, really. To be honest with you, this thing must not be drawn down into some tribal sort of fusion. We cannot allow this, and this should never be done at all. Look, what I want them to understand is that the Zanu-PF is an institution which has got principles and values that it stands for, and those principles and values are very, very clear. But like I've always said on this platform and many other platforms, you always find people who will abuse any institution at any given time. We saw it happening even in the MDC. If you remember how Tongani Kupe was bedeviled and called names when they were burying their leader, Mr. Tsvangirai in Buhera. And now, do you want to say that those are the kind of principles and values of the MDC? And the answer would definitely be no. But we had some people within that organization who took that law to call another woman, a human being, a whore, and yet she's a mother to some sons and daughters. So that's how ill we can have people within our organizations. And so it happens also in Zanu-PF. We have rogue elements within us because we're a mass party. Unfortunately, we don't have a system whereby somebody applies to become a member and is vetted and stuff like that. We are just a mass party, which means we carry in anything, prostitutes, everything. We embrace everybody in there. So that whatever anybody does, which is bad, must not then be an umbrella cover for that organization. It must be sort of pointed to the individual, and that individual must carry their cross at any given time. So Zanu-PF is not a bad party. It does not mean ill for anybody. We want prosperity because the people that suffer are also our majority members, and we don't want them to be suffering the way they are doing. But sometimes things don't go well. But that is why I'm saying it is time to put our hands together and think Zimbabwe before we think political parties. The time for politicking came, and it was over on the 31st of July. Now this is the time for economics. This is the time for development. We need to now remove that political jacket and wear the developmental jacket, which encompasses everybody, which knows no tribe, it knows no party. All it knows is that we're all Zimbabweans, and our main objective and goal and principle is to see Zimbabwe grow for not only ourselves, but for our future generation, our children and their children. And that's how it should be taken.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chuma. Please do stay on the line, Gibbs.
Maybe let's go to Dr. Spanda very fast. Dr. Spanda, can you respond to what Mr. Joseph Chuma is saying here?
Well, look, Mr. Joseph Chuma was attempting fairly, I think, badly done attempt to respond to the caller who was very logical in reasoning and looking at the issues. But what Mr. Chuma just did was to talk about how the membership of the Zanu-PF includes what he calls witches and prostitutes and all that, and he don't actually go into the question of the fact that Zanu-PF has been running this country for the last 38 years, and those people in this country that are suffering are suffering as a result of policies that were supported by and in fact brought in by the same party that says that it will change things now. And people of this country know, unfortunately, Zimbabweans are cleverer than that. Zimbabweans are intelligent. I've always maintained that. These people know pretty well that there is nothing that has changed. Already we are seeing Mnangagwa, who has not read the Constitution before he appoints his ministers. He is appointing provincial ministers when we now have what are called provincial councils. In fact, he's undermining the Constitution, undermining the law. And what are we being asked to do by Zanu-PF or by Mr. Chuma here? We're being asked to just wait and give them some time. This is the same song they were singing from November 2017, saying that we just have got to give them a chance. The more the chance you give Mnangagwa, the more Mugabe 2.0 you receive. So the people of Zimbabwe, and you've heard from all your callers from the messages of Facebook and messages through WhatsApp, you're hearing that your callers and your listeners have a simple, well-reasoned chorus, and that is to say Zanu-PF is not an unknown thing. We know it. Zanu-PF always goes back to being Zanu-PF. Just a few months ago, these guys were selling Mugabe to us. And what are they doing now? Listen to what former First Lady Grace Mugabe was saying about Mnangagwa, telling us now, after the elections, that he is in fact God-given. And yet they were disowning and pretending that they were trying to be something new. The people of Zimbabwe know that they are nothing new, they failed. Look, there's one thing you can't take away from Zanu-PF. It is a party of very experienced individuals. They have a lot of experience in running government. They have 38 years. But the fact of the matter is that experience is experience in stealing elections, destroying the economy, giving us a country without a currency, giving us a country without money, giving us a country without roads, a country without hospitals, a country that has a history of genocide, a country that has a history of Ramatina. That's the list of things that you can put across, that the country knows about in relation to Zanu-PF. Nothing positive there that this country has done. We've got an economy that was functioning with good infrastructure from the imperialists and from the colonizers, And anybody who worked as a garden boy at the time could afford to send one or two of the children to boarding school. In this day and age, a teacher can afford to send their children to boarding school. Everything we can ever know, everything we can ever dream about when it comes to Zanu-PF is always aggression, going forward, going backwards, and suffering. And you can see from the way Mnangagwa is ignoring the Constitution, ignoring the law, that we are simply going here towards a Mugabe 2.0, Mugabe more committed to violence, more committed to murder, and more willing to lie about it, no integrity. Mnangagwa shows no understanding of the very constitution that makes him and gives him his powers as president.
Thank you.
I feel sorry for this country, but I have faith in the people of Zimbabwe.
Thank you so much, Dr. Swanda. Before we go to Mr. Rejoice Ngwenya, we have a caller, Tina Mkoma Trinos, Magadi.
Inosimba baba makasimba here.
Aiwa, ndirumpenyu, muri kufona muri kupi?
Ndiri kufona ndiri pano paZambia.
Zambia, kwakadii kuZambia nasi?
Kurina nechose kupisa chete.
Aiwa, ndizvozvo. Tipeiwo pfungwa dzenyu pamusoro penyaya yatiri kukurukurai.
Apa ini ndinongoona kuti chinofanira kungochinja chete munyika medu kuti zvinhu zvifambe iZanu-PF. Nokuti kutaura kuno tine makore anokusvikawo kuma40 tichingotambudzika neZanu-PF vachingochinjana chete, vachidya ivo vachidya vachiguta. Whether maisani mapolicies avo chete ndo akangoshata anoita kuti nyika yedu iende pasi. Saka ndo pavanofanira kuti vashandire ipapo, ende ivo hatichadi kuti vashandire, beta tiise vamwe rimwe bato.
Saka munorisa sei rimwe bato, nokuti tinoona kuti mukana wakanga uripo vanhu vakaenda kusarudzo.
Mukana wanga uripo, zvakaonekwa nokuonekwa kuti vakaheruza vanhu ava, asi kuti vakarambirapo. Hakuna nyika inongoratidza kuti inochinja ma-results 3 times vachingochinja. Zvoratidza kuti pane utsotsi hwanga hwakavigwa huripo. Chete chakangoitika nechekuti vana jaji vaya vakaramba kuti mavhidhiyo aratidzwe. Zvoratidza kuti primary server yanga ine zvinhu zvakajeka kuti munhu wakahyiwa uyu.
Tombomira nezvakabva kumatare iye zvino izvi vaTrinos. Ndati izvozvo tombomira nezvakabuda mumatare.
Tombomira nezvakabuda mumatare, asi toshanda nezviripo izvozvi zvokungotambura. Tichamba chingotambura saizvozvi, nokuti ava vanhu vakatambudza nguva yareba, vachangoramba vachitambudza vachingochinjana saizvozvo. Ipapo patogona kuti vaisa nekamurungu, vaisa testa, vaisa chii. Hazvina nebasa zvese izvi kana mapolisi avo asina zvaanotibatsira izvi.
Thank you so much, Mkoma Trinos, maita basa.
Zvakanaka, inana vanawo pamuchinguri. Problem rinongovapo ndekuti ava maozesa vari kuita sokuti nyika ende yavo iyi. Saka mukangoona varipo, so muchaona vana chiwenga ndo vanenge vachitova varidze redefense iyoyi.
Okay, before musati maenda Mkoma Trinos, yes, Mkoma Trinos, musati maenda Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda vati varoda kutaura nemi. Dr. Sibanda vatongokupai 30 seconds mutaure na Mkoma Trinos.
Mkoma Trinos vanoziva, munoziva kuti mungarambe muchiti makota akataura kudai, saka totevedzera izvozvo zvachibuda apa. Chokwadi ndechekuti chirikutaura naMukoma Trinos chinozikanwa kuti munhu uyu unonzi ndipresident haasi tombori legitimate, haana kuwina election. Musi wekoti chaiwo ndaivepo kaini kuti ndibudze chokwadi. Constitutional Court of Zimbabwe yanga yakagadwa nevanhu vanga vaine matisheti aMnangagwa. How would you Constitutional Court inogadwa nevanhu vezanu sei isingagadwe nezanu? Koti yacho bva yanopinda vakati yoti aiwa toda kuti munouya nemaballot box ari kushekisheki building yeZanu-PF. Movavhura iwayo takavataura pasati maita maelections. Tinoda kuti maballot box achengetedzwe nemapato ese tiwirirane kuti tinomachengetedza sei. Vakaramba. takusvika pamaelections majaji ane
30 seconds.
vakangana takavaudza isi kuti musape zvinhu izvi kuzanu ngazvive zvinhu zvevanhu vese asi vari kuti tinotora
30 seconds here dzakwana. Thank you so much Dr. Swanda. Thank you so much Mukoma Trinos tipe vamwe mukana. Gibbs Mukoma Trinos, our caller from Zambia. He said there is need in the country, or for the country, to change the government, and he says the only change that's credible is changing Zanu-PF, which is the ruling party. He says it has been in power for close to 40 years with the same old policies that they've been using. Nothing will change. The change can only be brought if people bring in a new political party.
Now, the question of illegitimacy and legitimacy.
Yes.
You know,
he brought in that that too. Maybe Mr. Rejoice Ngwenya can respond to that.
Yes, let me read a message from Sandile Merule Ngcobe. Uthi akula jintsho oluzaba khona eZimbabwe. Ngohamba kwesikhathi enxenye nje mhlawumbe kungalunga kodwa silaqiniso lakho. Dickson Katema uthi umthuli Ngcobe yanyambona kodwa ke okhona ukuthi uzakwenza umsebenzi wakhe ekhululekile na. Then Julius Munotawafa writes, what is the purpose of ministers in vice president's offices? Will Mthuli Ncube operate independently? Mr. Rejoice Ngwenya.
Right. Now, maybe just to caution my colleagues in the opposition movement. Now we are now stuck with a government. Right. We now have a government that has been put in place to whatever mechanism. And we now need to focus on how best to move forward. And I want to be able to say to Mthuli Ncube that you have been given a ministry of finance, and you do your best to ensure that your integrity and your credibility is not compromised. You know, you have been careful, you have been given a minister of sports and youth and culture. You do your best to ensure that your integrity and personality partner, because I understand what my friend from Zambia is saying, that we have a problem of legitimacy. But unfortunately, we are now stuck with the government. We have now been given ministers, and we should make sure that we should do whatever we can to ensure that the people of Zimbabwe, move out of the economic quagmire that we are in. Because even if we complain that this government is illegitimate, and we all have our sentiments, and we are all angry, but we have Mthuli Ncube, we have Murura, we have these guys in government now. And my personal opinion is that if we want to prepare for 2023, if we have an input to ensure that the issue of constitutionalism, the issue of independence of institutions, the issue of the currency, the issue of food security is put in place. As an opposition, people should now put a parallel system that can be used to ensure that even when they come to 2023, they've got the necessary institution and the necessary mechanisms to make people vote for them. That is my 2 cents for the time being.
Thank you so much. I guess we've got a caller.
We have a caller. Tina mkoma forward. Wambo upina mchirongwa. Narewa ekadona. Mkoma forward. Aiwa taswira. Maswira oseimi.
Na kurinana kuna kupitori. Jati wada ngopindua daro yiro munaro. Tisingo batroni masoma.
Ndizo zo tipei nzewe. Tipei ramina zo nzewe ziripo.
Inizwe ndinoona muri kutaura zvakanaka kuti cabinet yagadzwa zvakanaka hapana chetinoshoora, but the problem ndeyekuti mukabikira sadza muhari ine makoko nekungoti hari gatione iye asvika kuvazve hazinazve zvinobatsira, because makoko iwawo ekare azuru anenge angorimo mucharya nawo ende havasi vazhinji vanomafarira. Kana vanobika ivavo harine makoko ndo vanofarira. But look now, Wagaza Mnangagwa cabinet, at least Kumifora, but Hari Nemakoko Mukati Amabikira, because they are like a China. Then one way, so far as in Europe. Now, this government can't go further and further liking this government. How can we like it from since 1980 till now? We are suffering.
Mukoma mukadzora volume, dzorai volume yeredhiyo yenyu mbichana, redhiyo yenyu iri kubva yanyanya kudzoka kwatiri kuno.
I understand the government of Smith here and there was wrong in another way, but most of 90% of the government of Smith was right, better than this government.
Why do you say so? Because
naye tetipinza isusu titaturana isusu vanhu vatema vatipinzana mukabineti vatipinzana munyika yedu ko chabuda chini hapana negameni yacho inongogadzwayo hapana chinobula hapana nothing is nothing hapana chinoita
but mukoma forward this government kana kuti cabinet yaanaunswa iyi vari kutotoreswa mhiko musi wemande kuti vatange kushanda hatingabva tangovadismisa vasati vamboshanda.
No. Zvakafanana nekuti unokatirwe bhora rine hwemukati wendipunhura. Unomupunhura here haupunhuri ukasvara chikune. Saka hatipunhuri bhora rine hwemukati rakaba rine hwemukati. What does it mean? A solid thing is a solid thing. That's not you can make hit with the foot or just cannot pick with the foot. That's an offensive thing to claim this. You can damage yourself. Now we are going to damage this country, our country to the last stage of the stages. I think, I don't know how can I explain this thing. I think to make us start is better. I don't know, I don't blame Tuma. Tuma is like a puppet. Whenever it's being caught, you can jump. You say jump, you can jump. Like everybody in country can jump, but the day they are going to be afraid. Then they can understand, no, this party is not right. I can understand my election that like I think she's now realizing what is happening. So if people are told this is what again, that is this. People can make see they own service and they are blind. And abantu received abangaziboni nokuthi banenga barimo kana utsheranga musonga awukazothi nyanga inorarana awuyiyalo ngokuthi inyanga yangu nokuthi unenga chishandira ikuba zonokuba.
Yeah, ndizvo. Thank you. Thank you so much Mkoma Forward maita basa. Hello.
Yeah, I think it's gone. Yeah,
yes, but you heard he was mixing English and Shona.
Yes.
He's saying nothing will change because he gave an example of when you are preparing a dinner or supper or sadza and you use a dirty pot. Yeah. He says the end product will be dirty.
That's right. And the soccer ball. If you put a stone inside.
But it depends. If you're a strong man like Gibbs, you can kick them.
But the toe will suffer, right?
I know.
So now, let's wrap it up now. Let's go to Mr. Joseph Chuma.
Yes.
Mr. Chuma, it seems as if Mr. Mthuli Ncube is a very good banker. He's well known. But then he's got his background of having owned Barbican Bank. And then he was accused of externalizing funds. We don't know how far that case is right now. So with that, won't it be seen as being some kind of pattern to the government? Won't it be like that?
No, well, I don't want to think so. What I really want to think and say is that here is Professor Mthuli thrown into the deep end of our finances. Let's give him a chance. Let's give him the support that he needs. And this is an exposed person, well-traveled and diversely engaged as well. So this is the kind of recipe that we actually need. So let's have people getting out that mentality of saying that it can only work if it was a narrow on that hot seat. If it's not a Chamisa, then it's totally nothing. No, let's not have that mentality. Let us try these people. They've come in. Let us give them their mandate and the support that they need while they carry out their duties.
Thank you, Chuma. Time is out.
Thank you.
They need all of us a buy-in from every Zimbabwean.
Thank you.
I think we should be doing now.
Yes.
Thank you. Time is out. Dr. Nkulule Osbanda, just 10 seconds.
Look, every time there's a government appointed in any country, you usually have the economy responding very well, investors responding very well, your currency responding very well. what you've seen here is that there's been no response at all. It says if President Mnangagwa has done nothing, announced no names at all.
Thank you.
So those who don't believe us on a political level that this government is illegitimate, look at the economics. It's illegitimate. Look, you can rape the elections. You can,
thank you so much, Dr. Spanda. Time is out.
It doesn't matter. You really can't rig the economy.
Time is out, Dr. Spanda. Thank you so much.
We really need to talk to...
I think we have to say thank you so much, Spanda. We thank our guests, Joseph Chuma of Zanu-PF, Dr. Nkululeko Spanda, MTC Alliance Presidential Spokesperson, and then Joyce Ngwenya, a political analyst. Signing off is Gibbs Dube in Washington, D.C. Goodbye.
And Jonga Kandemiri.